Okay guys, so I'm back. I'm going to try either showing you guys how to do a wheel-powered train, a wheel-powered calculator, because that's how calculating machines work, is you use wheels and stuff, or a wheel-powered mechbot, or wheel-powered car. I'm just thinking about it here in this moment. I've showed you guys how to make a wheel-powered machine before, but I'll show you again real quick while I'm thinking about which center point, because I have to go out here soon, but we will see here. Hey, Roblox lag, bad. This is, how am I going to do this? I always got to think about how I'm going to do it. Why is this wheel just spinning? Why are they all just spinning? Why shooting video discovering Roblox bugs? I'm always so, obsessed with trying to find infinite energy in Roblox so then I don't need to, spin wheels around. I know there's, a motor bug, but, why are these wheels just spinning like that? Roblox, don't get rid of... Oh, wait, they just started spinning. Oh! Infinite energy bug! Wait, no, that wheel starts spinning. You gotta, find a way to make, a wheel generator. Okay. Well, I'll show you guys how to make, some sort of weird car spinning machine, if I remember how to, which, of course, I do. So, what we'll do first is I'll make, some sort of wheel that powers a stick, right? I'll always refer to things as wheels, sticks, or big sticks, because I don't know the terminology for anything. So, first I'm going to take probably either this wheel or this wheel. I'll probably take this one. And I'm going to advance this a lot. A lot of times in Roblox, you use Roblox parts for stuff. But I'm just going to use the basic stuff to make a machine, a lot like what you would make in real life with stuff that's in your backyard. So we have this big circle thing. Imagine it like a tree stump. And these sticks. So like sticks that are in your backyard. And this is going to be a wheel that spins. And it's way better to make it in a different shape. So we're going to make it in a different shape, actually. We're going to keep our center stick, right? And we're going to shrink it down a little. And we're going to copy it. And we're going to lift it up like this and make an eye shape. Then all we do is we decrease the size of these and make a very sharp eye shape. And then we just spin it around. And it makes a steering wheel of a sort. It's way better when you have a nicer one, so I'm going to make it a little bit nicer, because I have the capability and the knowledge to make it nicer, so why not? And that will also make it work better. Here we go. You want to make sure those are as small as possible, so they can bump up against each other. Might need to adjust increment. So I'm adjusting the rotations increment down to 1, so then I can make this very smooth like this. As you can see, I'm making nearly a perfect wheel. Oh, I forgot I want to show you guys how to make a push cart. That was so fun learning for the first time. And now we have this wheel. So as you can see, we got nearly a perfect wheel. Problem about this is that it's very hard to determine the center point of something like this. Actually, wait a second. I think there's a little bit of a bug that shows you the center point. Wow. All my years of building in Roblox and never noticed there's a little bit of a shadow right there. Okay, well, that's extremely useful. Now I'm going to set my increment back to 15 and rotate this up. And it looks like, actually, that gives you the center point there because these are in alignment with their center. Basically, what will happen with this wheel is we're going to put it in some sticks that hold it in alignment. And when you spin this, this will spin our machine. So this is like a driving wheel. It's not a steering wheel, it's like a power wheel. I know how you feel. So, now, gotta get this in here like this. And we're just gonna try and make something simple. So I'm just building while you're imagining is pretty tough. So, I'm just thinking, okay. Now, we need gears someplace for what we're making. Let's just build ahead of ourselves. Don't mind me. I'm thinking and building. This is Lego movie stuff. Because I want this to power that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a gear. This might not end up how you guys are thinking it is going to end up. But now we need to add one little gear. And how we're going to do that is I'm going to add actually a cylinder right here. Oop, and we need to turn both on our build tool, right? So build tool has to have both on it, and the both is in the X tool, right? So both sort of stretch this forwards, set it on, and then as you spin this, that spins. I know it'd almost be better to make this sideways. Yeah, I know. I'm just making this up as I go, so it's not going to be pretty. Yeah, so that like this like this, and this like this at some point. There'll probably be some more adjustments, but then our gear will look sort of like this. Hopefully you know how to copy. I will also re-explain how to copy here in a second. And the point of the gear is to power the wheels, and I will explain that in a second. So this stick-em-a-bop gets powered by this stick-em-a-bop. This is the simple terminology. And this stick-em-a-bop transfers the power. There you go. It's all beautiful. And it might not work the first time, which is why we will test it. So, basically, okay, good. So now we will test this part of the machine, just so I can show you guys what's going on. And I have to check my timing. So I will move this, just make a copy of it, and improve it real quickly. So you can't just have this like this, and I will explain why, because I've explained before in prior videos. Because if I were to unanchor this now, which I'll show you what will happen, is we weld it. We always weld parts together that are like this, but if we unanchor it, and it has no support, it will just fall to the earth. So I'm going to build its support, and you can follow along. So I copied this center stick, and I'm making little like holes or like tubing for it to be held up by. So we need, I'm just going to make them green so they're very visible. Another one of those sort of very bright colors. I always call them annoying colors, but they aren't actually annoying. They're really beautiful colors. It's just, they're so bright like you have to see them. That's why I call them annoying colors. So, there we go. So we have one here. And then you want to make a copy again, and you get sort of like a square shape. You can also make them in a circle shape, but there's no real reason to make it a circle because the stick here is a circle, and it will naturally just spin around in that square shape. So there's really no reason to make the things you're using to hold it a circle. And as long as there's no sharp edges, this wheel here won't get stuck on it. So you want to make sure that there's little gaps. Otherwise, it will be like a clamp, or like how those wheels were that I showed you before over there. If you saw my previous video, too much pressure will prevent this wheel from spinning. So I might have to adjust that later. We want to put them all along to hold it up, and then I'll show you how this works out in the end here. There we go. Now I make a copy of that, and then I'll show you what happens. And it should be about player's height, because the player is what powers it. Maybe make it a little bit higher. This might work out. Now, we want to select everything, and deselect, actually, you know, yeah, this would be fine for now. So you deselect all the green stuff, because that's not getting welded to the white stuff. There's a way better way to do this. I just wasn't thinking ahead enough, because I'm trying to think about like how the machine is that I'm showing you guys is at the same time I'm doing this. So we got the green here is all deselected, so make sure all your green's deselected, white still selected. I'm going to paint the white purple so you can see it. Yeah, I know, it burns your eyes out, but that's its purpose. Weld last, so then you want to weld all the purple, or if it's still white for you guys, weld all the white to the white, and then unanchor it, and then it should all be stuck. And when you stand on it, it will get powered, usually, unless your pins are too tight, so. Looks like my pins are too tight. So what I gotta do is I gotta find the pin that's tight and fix it. I think it's this one. Is anything extra selected? No. Yeah, okay. So I have to manually spin it. As you can see, it does spin. You just have to physically spin it. I know it's not pretty, but this is how it works. You just sort of like jump and push on it, and it will slowly spin around. But yeah, and that's basically the basic idea of this part of the machine. And what will be underneath this, which I'll show you here in a second, is a either sideways wheel or another wheel just like that, that sends power. Can we do power sideways? Yeah, you can. It sends power down this way, which then sends power into these wheels. I just gotta make sure that this is gonna work. In my mind it worked, but sometimes things that work in your mind don't always work in reality. There we go. Maybe these things are too tight. Weird that it didn't work, but it seems like it spins. It just must be too heavy for some reason. I don't know why it's too heavy. Maybe it's because it's made out of wood. That is probably why. Smooth plastic. Spin. Why you no spin? Yeah, see? It does spin. There it goes. Oh, it spun for a second. Maybe it's too thin. Oh yeah, see how it spins around like that? But I'll fix it. I'll change it here in a second. But now what we do is we make a copy of this wheel. Right? And then we spin it around. And then we're going to have it connected into this wheel. Right? And all the gears will be about the same size, because when you change the size of gears, things get complicated. This is sort of the idea, is that that wheel is going to power this wheel. And as you can see, that they are pretty much incompatible, which is sad. But this piece works, is the good news. So now what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to change all this, because the bad news is none of it works. Yeah, that's right, none of it works. So how I'm going to fix it is I'm going to fix the main part first. So this thing, which doesn't seem to work, is easily fixed, because I've used this design before to open and close doors. You're like, have you really? I'm like, no. But a way better way to deal with this is the upward design, because you can just put a turn top on this. So I'm just going to jump right into that. Basically what a turn top is that you spin it around and it creates power. It usually needs to be very long, so I'm going to quickly build that. Make sure it works. And it has to be about player's height. Lose my timing. Oh, great timing. Yeah. And then, there we go. Then what we do is we put a weight on the bottom of this. So we use normal. Bring it down to the bottom. Do both. And then we have this thing inside of something like this. Because it has to be in the floor if you don't use Roblox joints or parts. So that it doesn't like slide around. And now if we make a copy of this, this should work. Problem with the other machine I just built is that I think that the wheel was improperly weighted. Because I've built a machine like that before and it works perfectly fine. Now as you see, this works. So as we push on this stick, the bottom wheel spins around. So this is what we're going to use to power the car. Because it's always the simplest system. This system almost always works every time. So now what we'll do is we'll leave our car thingy there. And we'll get this all set up to work. So how we get it working is we just lift it. We make a gear on the bottom. And how we make a gear on the bottom is like what we did last time. We just use normal. Both. We have a wheel here. Make a copy and just slowly design some sort of wheel on the bottom. that's compatible. And I'm going to make it fairly tiny, because tinier ones are actually way easier to work with, to be honest. And there'll be lots of testing before the machine actually works, because it takes a lot of either trial and error to make a machine like this work, or a lot of math to make a machine like this work. And I usually go the trial and error way, because I'm not like a super mathematician-y person. So I have this gear here, and then we'll have this spinny thing up there. And everything on this thing will have to be held up by something. So that's something you'll just have to understand. And how that will work is we'll have like little pins. So we'll have this thing at the bottom down here beneath this. Like that. And we'll have something like this here. Actually, this white's a nice color. I've never really made something in Roblox out of white like this, but it's really easy to see. Wish you could see it in my place, but right when I said that, I just saw like a little wolf spider climbing up the wall. And it was a pretty big moment in my time. I named my wolf spider Steve. Okay, sorry to distract from the video. But anyways, so these pins will hold it all together. And then we'll have this spinny thing up here. We still might need to fix some of our, the positions of things. And this wheel will transfer the power to another wheel. And now we'll actually just build the vehicle around this. And I'll build the rest of the vehicle in another video, because this video is getting sort of long. So yeah.